I started playing the bassoon in 6th grade. I had aspirations to play the trumpet, but it seemed as though my director didn't have any bassoons, so he kind of persuaded me to play by telling my parents that there's scholarship opportunity and whatnot. So I just started playing and I liked it a lot, and it all started there, and I played through high school, and here I am in college 10 years later. So I've been playing for 10 years, have my own horn now, and yeah, that's it. So my favorite type of ensemble to play in is in an orchestral setting, so in an orchestra, because it's mainly because of the music that we play. It's different than any other type of ensemble, because there's so many people and there's the added element of a string section, and so it brings out so many more like colorful sounds, like with the strings and the winds combined. So, and just the repertoire that we play is just marvelous, and it's not like any other music. So I just really love playing it. What's different about the bassoon is that every note in the bassoon has its own timbre, its own sound quality to it, and so as you're playing through any type of line or anything, you're constantly changing to try to keep continuity between all the notes, because every one is different. So to make a line sound smooth and connected, you're constantly changing your air pressure, your lip pressure, to conform to the notes. So it's really fun actually trying to make everything the same, because everything's different. The Devian Quartet shows off the range and the virtuosic capabilities of the bassoon. What's really cool about this, it's accompanied by 3 strings, a violin, a violist, and a cello. And you don't see that a lot in bassoon repertoire. But these instruments really work well with bassoon. What the strings do, they provide a harmonic function and melodic counterpoint with the bassoon melodic lines. But what is really interesting about this piece is the bassoon is featured soloistically, so as a solo instrument among the 3 string players, but periodically features other instruments in the group as soloists, so everyone gets their turn at fun melodic lines, so as well as them providing harmonic foundation for the bassoon. So.
Yeah, at actually a very young age, I was a member of the Central Florida Symphony. Now it's the Ocala Symphony, but when I was a junior in high school, my teacher, she was principal of the Central Florida Symphony at the time, and they needed a second bassoonist. So they hired me on for a Pops concert to give me a trial when I was a junior, and then I was able to do my part, and I did well. So I was professionally hired on from my junior year to my senior year at the Central Florida Symphony. So I played second to my bassoon teacher. And then I did summer music camps as well. FSU had summer music camps for young musicians in middle school and high school, and I had participated in that since 8th grade. I had always done a camp.
Okay.
In an orchestral setting, the bassoon has a lot of duties. It functions as a foundation for pitch in the wind section. It also functions when a composer wants a certain timbre in a piece. It takes on the timbral role just to provide a certain sound. Bassoon also adds very crisp articulation to some certain lines, and also functions as a soloist in the orchestral setting, but not that often. But there have been some great composers in the orchestral world, such as Shostakovich, which gave us a whole movement and a half going into the next movement for his Ninth Symphony. So there's some composers that chose to feature the bassoon as the main instrument for a movement, but that's very rare. And in a recital solo setting, the bassoon takes on a more virtuosic role to show off the virtuosic capabilities of the instrument. And you're more focused in on what the bassoon can do throughout its ranges and technically than you are as it functioning as a member within a section. So just more in the spotlight for a solo setting. A solo performance, when the bassoon is the focal point, I think takes more work, especially with endurance. Because when we're talking about a group performance, each instrument takes a different role and is not necessarily playing the entire time. So for a solo performance, a lot of the focus is building up stamina to be able to get through a solo recital. And not only that, your ideas even have to be more strongly communicated in a solo recital setting for bassoon, because that's not its natural habitat, to say in that sort of terms. And then regarding a group setting, there needs to be more of knowing what your part is within the group, even more so than a solo setting. Yes, you do need to know how you interchange maybe with the pianist when you're working in a solo setting, but for a group setting, it's so important to know where you fit into the fabric of the music, and preparing by listening to the music, studying the score. That all goes into much more heavily with a group setting.